Hey everyone, Mo here, and before the video begins, I just want to let you guys know that my schedule is opened up for me to do coaching again. So if you're interested in private one-on-one coaching for me to help you, whether you're a newer player and you want to excel at the game very quickly and learn the fundamentals without developing any bad habits early, or if you're an experienced player who's already maybe platinum or diamond and you're top 1%, but you need some help filling in the gap to get you to that 0.01%, to make you just some of the best, then hit me up on Discord and I can get you in some private one-on-one coaching lessons to help you polish up any skills you want to refine and help you learn all of the secrets to becoming a top player. That's it. I hope you enjoy the video. Hey guys, Mo here, and in this video I'm going to be bringing you guys Karma Ezreal gameplay. Karma Ezreal, Karma just got buffed recently. Karma Ezreal was actually the first deck I ever had a lot of competitive success on. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people just think, oh, me aggro player, me go face, me like ooga booga. But really, Karma Ezreal was the first deck I ever had some like really good success with. I hit rank 2 in beta ladder and stayed there for a couple days, won multiple games at rank 2, but never hit rank 1 at that time. And that was with Karma Ezreal. I went on a 31-1 or 33-1 streak with the deck, and which is like an insane streak to have. And since then, Karma Ezreal kind of just got like super nerfed because people hated it. It was toxic. I mean, it was really good. And they kind of reverted every single nerf they made to the deck outside of Ezreal. For those of you who don't know, Ezreal used to do 2 damage no matter what whenever you cast a spell. So the way it would work is you'd spend 1 mana on like a mushroom and you would deal 4 burst damage to your opponent for 1 mana. And so you would just play like 5 spells and you would just burst your opponent down from 20 to 0 without them being able to interact with you. And that was not very fun. So now with the change, they made it to where burst spells or non-targeting spells deal 1 damage to the enemy nexus, and then the spells that target enemy units deal 2 damage. So because of that, it doesn't really play out as this like wait till turn 10 and then OTK your opponent from burst damage all the time. But it's still really strong, and it still does a lot of the same things as old Karma Ezreal did. So I'm excited to play it. The list I have here is Dr. LoR's like optimal guide thing that he puts out all the time. If you guys don't know him, I'll have his link to his Twitter in the description. He always posts out these posts that say like, okay, these are all of the cards that are being played in this deck, whatever deck it is that he's doing. And it'll tell you all of the win rates of the cards, how often they're played, the win rate if they're drawn, how many copies are mostly played, stuff like that, and how it gives you an idea of like what the most optimal build for a deck is, because it'll say, okay, everyone's playing, 3 of this card, but it really has a higher win rate if only 2 of them are played, and stuff like that. So I took basically all of the good numbers from there, made what's statistically supposed to be the most optimal list here, and we're gonna try and run it in ranked. So before we get into the games, I want to remind you guys that we're really close to hitting 3,000 subscribers. So if we could hit that milestone and that goal, that would be amazing. If you do want to help out with that, just go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It also helps me out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. So that's gonna be it. I would really appreciate it. Let's get into the games. All right, looks like we're getting Sivir Auction. So Sivir Auction, I mean, best deck in the game right now. Extremely, super played right now in ladder. This matchup is only bad if they draw like multiple Ruin Runners. We have our Eye of the Dragon early, we have Fallen Feline early, so we shouldn't take too much early damage here. It's really just going to become a problem during those like turns 5 and 6 whenever they get Ruin Runners and Sivers and start doing like ghost combos and double strike combos, and that's upsetting. So the reason I passed there on turn 1 without playing my Fallen Feline is if he doesn't have this like 1-drop here, I'd much rather just wait for him to play Rockhopper and then play this 1-drop instead of getting my Eye of the Dragon vulnerable, which is probably going to bite me in the butt here in a second if he does end up having that Rockhopper. It probably would have been a lot better to save Eye of the Dragon. Also, it makes it a lot easier to trigger your Eye of the Dragon if you get to have that extra 1 spell mana here. You have 2 mana. Then I could have played like Eye of the Dragon into Gotcha if he plays an Auction and stuff like that. So it looks like our opponent's just trying to be really aggressive here with this 5-drop. Or I'm sorry, with this 5-2. We'll let him. We'll take the 2 damage. Doesn't really matter too much. We're going to gain a bunch of health here with Eye of the Dragon eventually anyways. So we drew the Gotcha on a turn where we can't use it. That sucks, but it's pretty much okay. That's not the worst. We have it here in the future for any time we need it. So he does that. We don't care again. We're just going to save all of our spells here for whenever we can trigger Eye of the Dragons. Ideally, you're triggering your Eye of the Dragons on a defensive turn. That's really when you would like to be saving them. So we're going to go ahead and pop this, see if we can get a cheap spell here. Let's see if we can get a cheap spell here of some sort to be able to pop this Sivir spell shield. Let's see. I think we're just going to take Ezreal because Ezreal can let us start like Mystic Shotting. I also like skipping. I wouldn't mind skipping here. Skipping and see if we can draw just another spell or something. Okay, we got Pod. Pod isn't bad. We'll skip. We're probably just going to gotcha this 3-3 so we don't take a bunch of damage. We're going to trigger our Eye of the Dragons, start swinging with Eye of the Dragons. Ideally, we'd like to have Eye of the Dragons on our defensive turn, so that way we have extra blockers. So maybe because we have this deep meditation, okay, it does look like we're going to be able to go ahead and trigger these, which is nice. I don't think I'm playing Twin Disciplines. Actually, no, I'm not. Okay, so I'm not playing Twin Disciplines. If I was, I wouldn't mind doing like a deep med here to try and find a way to buff up my Dragon Link so it kills Sivir. So this is a very scary spot because our opponent's starting to do very scary things here. We're just going to go and trigger our dragons. Let's see. I do like Shadow Assassin because it stops us from dying to some random like ghost shenanigan. Granted, it's a little late right now. Or if they have the ghost shenanigan, we're just dead. But if they don't immediately open with ghost shenanigans, then we're chilling. We're 1 mana off from going Palm. Okay, this looks pretty scary. Fortunately, we do have Scattered Pod, which is really, really nice. Scattered Pod... let's see. Yeah, we can kill Sivir here with Scattered Pod, which is really nice. So it completely stops Sivir from attacking unless they have a Shapestone. I think we're going to do that. I think our only slow speed is Thermogen, which we don't need. So let's go and just try and find a fast speed spell here. Or a burst speed. Burst speed spells are going to be all of our draw cards. Fast speed spells can be any type of removal spell. Your slow speed spell is going to be Thermogen. So that's kind of to help you. If you need to draw a bunch of cards, you want to go with the burst. If you want to find some type of like removal spell or Will of Ionia type spell or deny, you want to go with fast. Fast is definitely your more like RNG option. Slow is exactly Thermo, and then burst is going to be all your draw cards. Throwing over here, so we drew the Will of Ionia, so that's not bad. We're basically saying, Mr. Opponent, you have to have... That would also work. And say he had to have exactly a 1 mana card here, like a Shapestone. So now we can't kill the Sivir, which is really unfortunate because this is 6, 12, 14, and they need 13 to level. So if they didn't have this, they wouldn't be able to level Sivir. So I guess we're just going to try and not die here. Let's see. So we take 7. That's not bad. We clear a bunch of his board. They have a Sivir, but we can eventually kill Sivir with like, or at least deal with Sivir with like Conch Palm and stuff like that. We haven't triggered any of our Eye of the Dragons, but should be okay because we'll get Eye of the Dragons in the future turn. For those of you that don't know, the little Dragonlings all save 3 health because it has 1 toughness, which blocks 1 overwhelm damage, and then the 2 attack obviously like gains you life. So if you're ever wondering what's the best way to go ahead and do math for a lifesteal versus an overwhelm unit, that's how. You just do like the health plus the toughness, and then that's how much damage you're negating. So even if you have like a 5-1, oh, okay. I hope that doesn't kill my Ezreal. Oh, it killed my Eye of the Dragon. That was pretty nuts. Okay, so we can do this, and we can kill Sivir. He'd have to have like a triple Sivir hand, which would be really weird. So we're just gonna do like, we're just going to do something like this here. This way the Concussive Palm breaks the Spell Shield and the Mystic Shot kills Sivir. And we're just hoping that they don't have third Sivir or deny or a safe spell. And even if they have a safe spell, this still is not that bad because at least the Spell Shield is off of Sivir. We can always just like recall or Concussive Palm the Sivir, which is really, really nice. So we're at 6, but we should be chilling. Okay. That's nice. So we can just like kind of... So you can Concussive Palm here. That's 4 damage. He has to have a pump spell of some sort. I do kind of just like going Concussive Palm onto the Sivir so they can't attack and get first strike on everything. That'd be really nice. Let's see. I also want to break the Spell Shield because I think he's going to pull this with the Spell Shield. I think we can pass here. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have a bunch of blockers. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go ahead and pass. Worst case here would be if he gives everything elusive, but if he gives everything elusive, we can't really win anyways. And I don't think we're too worried about the Sivir spell when we can just do like this. This is the greedier option. We could also just do like this. This stuns it so that way it doesn't die for sure. Yeah, we can go ahead and do this option. So the problem with doing the greedier version of saying Conk Palm and then like Mystic Shot to kill this is that if he has something like a Twin Disciplines or a Shapestone or something like that to buff the Ruin Runner by health, then we're probably dead. Like if it's Shapestone, then this unit not only doesn't die, but we're dead, which is not good. So our Ezreal is almost leveled. This should be pretty good. Our Eye of the Dragon is going to trigger next turn. They don't have any rallies or any type of reach. I mean, outside of like Sivir spell, which they've already used. So we should be getting able to get a bunch of damage here. We can even attack with this 3-2, should be fine. Push damage. You'd have to have exactly Ghosts to block the Ezreal, and then we'd still probably be fine. We get to play Karma now on turn 9 because Karma levels next turn, and we should be fine. Looks like we bought us enough time. This deck very much is get to turn 10. Once you get to turn 10, your power level is just unmatched by really any deck. Obviously, the big problem with that is getting to turn 10 because a lot of these decks do just kill you on turns 5 and 6. Like, this deck almost killed us on, like, turn 6, but we had, luckily, you know, a double Eye of the Dragon opener, which is pretty crazy. So here he saved his unit. He triggered the Horde. That's what it's called, Emperor's Horde or something like that, right? I don't remember. Warlord's Horde? I know there's 2 of them. Yeah, Warlord's Horde. What's the other one called? A Warlord's Palace. Okay, Warlord's Palace is the first one. So now we did all that. We get to play this Karma card, which is pretty nice. It levels next turn. Inside of Ages is really nice. We're going to have full mana. We should not be dying here. We're just going to go ahead and click the pass button. Get our random spell. Time Winder is really good. Deals 2 damage. So it's basically just like a mini Static Shock, except we don't draw cards. But it also doesn't cost 4 mana. So all in all, I'll take that trade. We just need to not die, and we win. We have leveled up Ezreal. We could even like try and find lethal by attacking his face a whole bunch. So Phaleria Fist, sure, sounds good. Spirit's Refuge, yep, sounds good. So I don't know if we have lethal, but we should be able to just like not die. So if we wanted to do like something like this, we can discard just like you, do something like this. We put like you in front. We can do like this. How much damage is this? I'm trying to see if we can kill our opponent here. It doesn't look like we don't have a for sure one. So what we'll do is we'll just do something like this. We can just bounce you and then just call that a day, force our opponent to do something. His denies are completely useless. Once you get leveled up Karma on turn 10, even if they have deny, it literally does not matter just because they they'd have to have double deny because every one spell you play is really just 2 spells because Karma's a cool card. So Thermogen, so we just get to start doing some crazy shit here. We're gonna go ahead and try and find a card. What we're doing here is just getting our spells to perfect mana for this Thermogen. Hexite Crystal is nuts. Static Shock here is nuts. We get to go again. Gotcha is nuts. Alright, cool. So what we're going to do now, I originally was going to juice Thermogen this for 4 to pop the spell shield, but since Gotcha is at the discounted price now, we're just going to go ahead and play this card. Because Gotcha's pretty neat. Yep, that looks fine to me. We just say, sounds good, man. And then we can Hexite Crystal here. This both kills the Sivir as well as pops Spell Shield and deals 2 here, as well as does 4 damage to his face, plus the 2 from Ezreal, which is 6. And then we get the Thermogen here. Thermogening for 0 is a good way to get 4 damage because it still targets the unit and it still counts towards Ezreal even though it doesn't deal damage. So that right there put him to 3, and then we just had Burst Lethal from that point where we can go like play 3 burst speed spells out of our hands. So that game was pretty good. We just wanted to use our tools to stall. Eye of the Dragon is really, really big if you can get there. We found our Will of Ionians. We found ways to pop Spell Shield. It was really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys 1, maybe 2 games, probably just 1 more game because these games tend to go a little bit long. Alright, another, so this one's Sivir Zed. I believe the last one we played was Sivir Auction, so here's Sivir Zed. I mean, this is good. One, it kind of sucks because I believe these games are probably going to go so long that they're the only 2 matches you guys get to see. But on the same hand, this is probably the most popular matchup you're going to see, so I'm glad I could show it to you. This isn't going to be like a full, complete, in-depth deck guide. If you guys want a deck guide on the new if you want a deck guide on the new Karma Ezreal deck and like how this one plays out, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to make that guide for you. I made a I keep saying Sivir. I made a Karma Ezreal deck guide when I first started playing Karma Ezreal, and it got me, that was my first video to ever hit 10,000 views, so that was really cool, which made me really happy, because it was my first ever, like, good, successful video. So, I'm always down to make more Karma Ezreal guides, because I love them. The deck is so fun. I love this deck. As much as I am an aggro player now, I very much started off as these, like, a degenerate combo player. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go for a Merciless Hunter. I also wouldn't be surprised if they passed. No Merciless Hunter. Wow, this is just a free Ezreal then. No Merciless Hunter is kind of crazy. So this is what's different about the Zed version versus the Auction version. Is Zed version forces you to play these like Preservariums, whereas if you're playing the Auction version, these cards could have been more flex cards or something completely different. So we're gonna do some of this. I actually think I'm gonna Shadow Assassin here, just to see what our opponent does. Maybe they play like a new unit here for us to Mystic Shot. If they pass here, because they don't want their unit to get Mystic Shotted, I'm 100% down to pass, but they didn't. So we're just going to swing here then. And then we can go ahead and Mystic the 3-1, get some of these stacks going. We're going to save the Thermogen because it's probably our best way to deal with these larger units like Ruin Runner. And, I mean, Sivir isn't that large of a unit health-wise, but once she gets to 4 health, if she gets leveled, 4 health is a lot harder of a barrier to break than 3 health. 3 health units are pretty easy to kill. You know, we have a gajillion ways to deal 3 damage. But 4 damage is completely different, so we're just going to time trick here and see what we draw. We don't have any good ways to actually... We don't have any way to actually kill this right now, so we're just going to grab this Mystic Shot and try and find ways to kill things here. I guess we can pass. We don't really have to play anything. I think I'm okay with just taking the 5. We can play Shadow Assassin. Okay, so yeah. Looks good, looks good. We're not going to trigger Eye of the Dragon. We always just trigger Eye of the Dragon on our turn. It looks like we're just an elusive aggro deck this game, which is completely fine by me. We're outracing the Sivir Zed guys, so that always makes me happy. We can use this Mystic Shot to pop the Spell Shield. Sounds good. Oh man, how I would love a Static Shock right now. So we can do that. We have 5 mana, so we can Mystic Shot you, and then we can Thermogen you, and just hope our opponent doesn't have removal spells. Or the funny thing is, these save spells, these like Twin Disciplines and Shapestone, people get really upset. They're like, oh, Twin Disciplines is so good, you know, like I can never kill their stuff. But you have to realize, if this guy uses 2 Twin Disciplines here, or a Twin Disciplines and a Shapestone, that means that they're not killing me. Like, I'd much rather my opponent use a Twin Disciplines for 3 HP on my turn than my opponent use Twin Disciplines for 3 attack with Double Strike on an overwhelm unit to kill me, you know? So it's kind of like a bittersweet moment, so... this is a very weird hand. I believe we can just pass. We don't have to do anything crazy. My first action is probably just going to be Deep Meditation to try and find a Static Shock. We're going to wait to see if they play the Sivir or something first. Like, if they play a Sivir or a Ruin Runner, just like that, then we're going to want to go ahead and, like, Mystic Shot Will of Ionia. So, again, we're in a spot where we're just going to want to pass. We don't really care too much about anything. He's going to use that to pull... Oh, okay, sure. And then he's going to just let us kill it, I believe. So... We're gonna do this. This will level up our Ezreal. We don't believe he has another Twin Disciplines, because if he had Twin Disciplines, he would have kept his Sivir alive. So it would have had to be top decked, which is the card right here on the far left. So they don't have it, so this is very safe. Ezreal levels, kills off Young Witch. We're happy. It's getting really close to turn 10, which is super nice. Not that it really matters too much, because we're kind of just dominating this game. But Scattered Pot is nice here because, again, draw us exactly Thermogen, which is something we really, really want at this point. We're going to full send. We don't care. Again, we know he doesn't have a pump spell. He would have had to draw it right here, and I don't care too much about playing around top decks, especially since I have all of these ways to keep my guys alive anyways. And this game just looks very, very done. I mean, they didn't have a crazy opener. They kind of played really slowly. So that was his top deck because it was the furthest left. I think I'm down to just deep meditation here. We drew a gotcha. That's really good. We can pass, see what our opponent does. I think I'm just going to go concussive palm into gotcha on the Sivir. That makes me really happy. The only problem with that play is that we don't have a way to stop Ruin Runner, and we could randomly die to Ruin Runner if we don't have a way to both pop the Spell Shield and like Will of Ionia or something like that. So I think what I'm going to do instead is just we're probably just going to go Scattered Pod for a fast speed spell. Oh, that's not very good. Well, okay, let's see what he gets off a Lucky Find. Hopefully it's not Overwhelm. If it's Overwhelm, we have big problems. It's Fearsome. Oh, that's also big problems. Fortunately, his Sivir's not leveled, so it actually doesn't really matter too much. Let's see. I guess we could always Time Trick into a fast speed spell to break the barrier. I think I'm okay with that. I think I do want to try and kill this Sivir here. Let's see. He's going to be at 9, 10, 11, 12 mana, which is exactly enough for Ruin Runner and to double strike with top deck Shapestone. If his hand is like Flurry of Fist, he could top deck a Shapestone and kill us. Oh, there's the Shapestone. Okay, well, that's not that big of a deal. Also, our opponent's at 2 HP, so they kind of just die when we go Time Trick into any burst speed spell. So Time Trick into any burst speed spell just wins us the game. Mystic Shot also just kind of wins us the game because our opponent has such a low HP. That's another thing too, is don't ever get too tunnel visioned in on your opponent. Like, oh, I have to remove this, I have to remove this. Like, remember that your opponent's life total is really low. When you get leveled Ezreal, you just win games extremely fast. So we just do this into any burst speed spell. We'll skip. And then boom, look at that. That's burst lethal. So always make sure to pay attention to your opponent's HP, because you could be doing all this stuff. Like, imagine if my hand was still like triple Mystic Shot or double Mystic Shot or something, and you're sitting here trying to figure out, oh, how do I remove this? How do I do this? And you're like, oh wait, my opponent's at, you know, 6 HP. It's like, well, each of these Mystic Shots deal 3 damage to the face, so it would have been really easy to just, you know, do the Mystic Shot to the face thing, especially if you have a read where they don't have deny. So that's how you, those are a couple of games on Karma Ezreal. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed playing Karma Ezreal. This actually, Karma Ezreal has the highest win rate in Diamond, I believe, with it was like 57% win rate. So this is kind of sleeper nuts. I know Cephalopod, my friend Seth, just made it to Masters again. He either went from Platinum to Diamond or Diamond to Masters with some insane like 70-something% win rate with not, I don't believe it wasn't this exact version, but using Karma Ezreal. And he thinks Karma Ezreal is super nuts right now and super nuts on ladder and in tournament. It's just really slept on. So I'm extremely looking forward to playing more Karma Ezreal and seeing Karma Ezreal grow and seeing the deck list change and adapt and become more optimized with the new buffs. So that's going to be it for this video. Let me know in the comments below what videos you guys want to see in the future, if it's more gameplay videos, if it's more deck guide videos, and then what decks you want to see in those gameplay and deck guide videos. Make sure to follow me on Twitch. I stream on there 5 days a week. Join my Discord. The link will be in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next video.